Data is a hugely important part of how we work on our active asset management, asset redevelopment work. So over the past years, we've really made a concerted effort to capture the energy consumption in our assets under management, our tenant consumption especially, so that we have our baseline and we know what actions we need to take and where we need to prioritize to help drive the emissions reduction for our net zero goal. Now that translates to active choices when we redevelop assets. It means that we can make very deliberate choices around things like insulation, glazing, working with our tenants to move from fossil fuel-based HVAC systems to all electric systems. We've been investing in solar panels on roofs of our buildings to increase that share of on-site renewables, and getting our tenants to also think deliberately about how they procure electricity themselves. And if we can drive all these different things together, then we're confident that we can actually really make a real dent in our operational emissions and drive towards net zero. And at the same time, when we think about our developments, start to make deliberate choices on materials in order to reduce or avoid, let's say, the upfront and embodied emissions that are associated with the projects that we do. Over the past years, the redevelopments that we've done and the improvements that we've done, actually using BREEAM as our kind of primary methodology for driving performance. We didn't even necessarily concentrate or focus on energy efficiency per se, but just by focusing on a better BREEAM result, we've actually found that we've achieved up to 40% improvements on energy intensity. So now, with our science-based target requirement of a 50% reduction in emissions by 2030 en route to net zero by 2040, if we focus deliberately on energy intensity improvements and eradicating fossil fuels from our assets, for example, I'm convinced that we can actually get much better performance in our developments. So driving to 50, 60, 70% reductions versus what we would otherwise get.